Hi, my name is Kassandra Nelson and I'm a 24-year-old archaeologist from Manassas, Virginia. I graduated from Radford University with a Bachelor's of Science in Anthropology. Most of my studies were in archaeology and physical anthropology. I got my minor in Mediterranean and Near Eastern Studies. I did my undergraduate thesis on archaeological conservation of waterlogged wooden artifacts. I also graduated from George Mason University with a professional certificate in geographic information systems. I specialized in intelligence and defense. I'm also a member of the Forensic Archaeology Recovery Organization. I'm trained by FEMA as a disaster recovery team member. I've been with the Forensic Archaeology Recovery Organization since December. I participated in 3 field schools. My first field school was in Saltville, Virginia. My second was in Blacksburg, Virginia. My third was in Menorca, Spain. My field school in Menorca was where I really learned what archaeology is. It was an underwater archaeology field school in Menorca, Spain. Over the course of 2 weeks, we did 22 dives. The first week we spent working on an 18th century shipwreck. The second week we worked on a 1st century Roman amphora drop. We believe it was a site where a ship had wrecked and all that was left was a mile and a half, roughly, of Roman amphora just scattered around the floor of the ocean. The most important thing that I learned about archaeology on that field school was that it's not the glamorous job that I had believed it to be. We didn't do a whole lot of archaeology, at least from my perspective. Each day lasted from about 6 o'clock in the morning until about 4 o'clock in the evening. We only dove twice a day. Each dive only lasted about 45 minutes a day. Most of the day was spent in traveling to the site, carrying our gear to the site, setting up, and taking breathers in between our dives. So we spent probably 6 or 7 hours just setting up and carrying the gear. It was a long, hard day, not glamorous at all. I've been working in CRM since August of 2008. My first job was on a cemetery recovery project in Maryland. The church on the premises wanted to expand and rebuild, but the church couldn't expand because church members believed that they had family members buried right on the church grounds. We had 1 week to go through the entire churchyard, do shovel tests, ground penetrating radar, and a few unit excavations, only to find that there was nobody buried in the churchyard. My second job in CRM was with Parsons Brinkerhoff, an engineering firm based out of Baltimore, Maryland. I was a field tech for Parsons Brinkerhoff. Mostly we did unit excavations. We were never exactly sure what the terrain was going to be like or the weather. We'd get there and it was perfectly nice when we got there during the day and it would just start pouring and they expected us to work in the pouring rain. It was with Parsons Brinkerhoff that I learned some very necessary tips to archaeology. You want plastic bags in your boots, you need a pair of gloves a day, and you need a lot of water. And you want to dress in layers. Layers are your friend. Hot days, cold days, it doesn't matter. It's going to start out one way and be a completely different way the next. Parsons Brinkerhoff is where I learned that CRM work is not the same as field school. My first day I got there very excited, thinking I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew all the tricks out of the book. Turns out I was wrong. I get there and they let me hop right into the unit and start working. And I started immediately just trying to be very meticulous, very careful, and scraping the dirt ever so gently as my professor had taught me to do in field school. Well, our field director came over immediately and says, "What are you doing? This isn't your field school. We pay you to move dirt." And that's when I learned that being a field tech means that you are nothing but a dirt pusher. I also work for Lewis Berger here in Virginia. We were working on a power line project in the Appalachian Mountains. That was a project, let me tell you. We had to walk up and down hills like you would not even believe. Some hills I didn't even know could exist like that. That was where, again, some of the tricks that I had learned in my previous jobs had come in handy. Keeping plastic bags inside your boots. I learned that really coolers and water bottles aren't practical. I've started carrying a camel pack with me as my water bottle. I've got a 3-liter camel pack and a bottle that hangs off of that pack because you don't have room to carry stuff. You have 2 weeks to do an 8-mile stretch and you just don't have time to be taking breaks, just sitting down and relaxing. It's a moving project. All in all, I'm a real shovel bum. Anything you want to know about this field, I can tell you. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.